All right, I had a couple of thoughts with regards to deadlifts, and there's a lot of talk about what makes a true deadlift between a touch and go method and a dead stop method where the bar's resting on the floor. For people who don't know what the touch and go method is, it looks something like this. You'll set up normally with a conventional deadlift stance or whatever stance you want. You pick up the bar and you just glance it off the floor, ideally under control for every rep, just like that. The difference between a deadlift like that and a dead stop deadlift where the bar settles on the floor is that it looks like this. You get the chance to reset, make your pull, and it has that couple of seconds where you actually get the chance to reset, readjust your grip if you need to, lower the bar, and the bar settles on the ground. Now, rather than vilifying one method and saying the other method is the only way as a testimony to true strength and being a true lift and not being a cheating method like a lot of people call that touch and go method, using a deadlift that has the tap and go actually has some benefits that a lot of people sort of don't think about. So with the dead stop deadlift first, there's a couple things that get forfeited. First of all, the eccentric tension gets lowered when you go down, especially when there's a lot more weight on the bar. When you go down with a dead stop deadlift, most of the videos that you're going to see on the internet where people are doing, let's say, a set of 3 or 5 reps with a lot of weight on the bar, that bar drops right away. The bar slams down to the floor. It's not really done under a whole lot of control or a lot of care for control when they lower the rep because they're only concerned with the concentric rep. Doesn't necessarily mean that the lifter drops the bar, but it travels down a lot faster than it would otherwise. So it would look like this. Make your pull. You'll see a lot of videos that look something like that online. Compare that to a deadlift with a tap and go method, and now you have to have a lot more of a mind for eccentric control as you go through that lowering phase of the lift. If you want to maintain good form and technique, you're not going to be able to afford to drop as fast as I just dropped unless you have a very aggressive bounce off the ground, which is not really an efficient way to deadlift or a safe way to deadlift or anything. So, make your pull, under control, tap and go. So there's a little bit more of an attention to that negative rep this way. As I said before, there's a benefit and a disadvantage of both styles, so each one sort of, it's 6 in one hand and half a dozen in the other in terms of what the benefits are and what the disadvantages are. And both should be really practiced. In the case of the tap and go method, why I like to use it with my clients, why I like to use it myself personally as well, just as much as I use the dead stop method, is the fact that there's more than just the posterior chain that gets to work on both halves of the rep. With that, now we get more time under tension. We also get more grip strength that has to be involved for a longer period of time in one shot. With the dead stop, you put the bar down, you get the chance to slacken your grip a little bit, reset your grip if you need to, and then reset. The eccentric control as well has a lot more lower back and hamstring dominance and gluteal dominance since you don't get to really slacken up or reset when you're on the floor. So that's something, aside from that, just general conditioning of it, it makes a 500-pound tap and go method deadlift have a little bit more credit to it than just looking at the thing that bounces off the floor all the time. The dead stop deadlift still has its benefits as well, but it doesn't mean that you can't counter that with some good arguments for the touch and go. And so my advice for everybody is to actually practice both methods under safe pretenses and do that going forward. So that's it.